Scene 3. The Poker Night. There's a picture of Van Gogh's of a billiard parlor at night. The kitchen now suggests that sort of lurid nocturnal brilliance. The raw colors of childhood spectrum over the yellow linoleum of kitchen tables hangs an electric bulb with a vivid green glass shade. The poker players, Stanley, Steve, Mitch, and Pablo, wear colored shirts, solid blues, a purple, a red and white check, a light green, and they are men at the peak of their physical manhood, as coarse, as direct, and powerful as the primary colors. There are vivid slices of watermelon on the table, whiskey bottles, and glasses. The bedroom is relatively dim, with only the light that spills between the portieres and through the wide window on the street. For a moment there is absorbed silence as a hand is dealt. Steve: anything wild this deal? Pablo: one-eye jacks are wild. Steve: give me 2 cards. Pablo: you, Mitch. Mitch: I'm out. Pablo: 1. Mitch: anyone want a shot? Stanley: yeah, me. Pablo: why don't somebody go to the Chinaman's and bring back a load of chop suey? Stanley: when I'm losing you want to eat. Ain't up. Openers? Openers. Get off the table. Mitch: nothing belongs on the poker table but cards, chips, and whiskey. He lurches up and tosses some watermelon rinds onto the floor. Mitch: kind of on your high horse, aren't you? Stanley: how many? Steve: give me 3. Stanley: 1. Mitch: I'm out again. I oughta go home pretty soon. Stanley: shut up. Mitch: I got a sick mother. She don't go to sleep until I come in at night. Stanley: then why don't you stay home with her? Mitch: she says to go out, so I go, but I don't enjoy it. All the while, I keep wondering how she is. Stanley: oh, for God's sake, go home then. Pablo: what have you got? Steve: spade flush. Mitch: you are all married, but I'll be alone when she goes. I'm going to the bathroom. Stanley: hurry back, and we will fix you a sugar tit. Mitch: oh, lay off. He crosses through the bedroom into the bathroom. Steve, dealing a hand. 7-card stud, telling his joke as he deals. This old nigger is out in back of his house sitting down throwing corn to the chicken, when all at once he hears a loud cackle, and this young hen comes lickety split around the side of the house with the roaster right behind her and gaining on her fast. Stanley, impatient with the story: deal. Steve: but when the roaster catches sight of the nigger throwing the corn, he puts on the brakes and lets the hen get away and starts picking the corn. And the old nigger says, Lord God, I hopes I never gets that hungry. Steve and Pablo laugh. The sisters appear around the corner of the building. Stella: the game is still going on. Blanche: how do I look? Stella: lovely, Blanche. Blanche: I feel so hot and frazzled. Wait till I powder before you open the door. Do I look done in? Stella: why not? You are as fresh as a daisy. Blanche: one that's been picked a few days. Stella opens the door and they enter. Stella: well, 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 I see you boys are still at it. Stanley: where you been? Stella: Blanche and I took in a show. Blanche: this is Mr. Gonzales and Mr. Hubble. Blanche: please don't get up. Stanley. Nobody's going to get up, so don't be worried. Stella. How much longer is this game going to continue? Stanley. Till we get ready to quit. Blanche. Poker is so fascinating, cried Kibitz. Stanley. You could not. Why don't you woman go up and sit with Eunice? Stella. Because it is nearly 2:30. Blanche crosses into the bedroom and partially closes the portraits. Couldn't you call it quits after one more hand? A chair scrapes. Stanley gives a loud whack of his hand on her thigh. Stella, sharply. That's not fun, Stanley. The man laughs. Stella goes into the bedroom. Stella, it makes me so mad when he does that in front of people. Blanche, I think I will bath. Stella, again? Blanche, my nerves are in knots. Is the bathroom occupied? Stella, I don't know. Blanche knocks. Mitch opens the door and comes out, still wiping his hands on the towel. Blanche, oh, good evening. Mitch, hello. He stares at her. Stella, Blanche, this is Harold Mitchell, my sister Blanche Dubois. Mitch, with awkward courtesy. How do you do, Miss Dubois? Stella, how's your mother now, Mitch? Mitch, about the same, thanks. She appreciated your sending over the custard. Excuse me, please. He crosses slowly back into the kitchen, glancing back at Blanche, and coughing a little shyly. He realized he still has the towel in his hands, and with an embarrassed laugh, hands it to Stella. Blanche looks after him with a certain interest. Blanche, that one seems superior to others. Stella, yes, he is. Blanche, I thought he had a sort of sensitive look. Stella, his mother is sick. Blanche, is he married? Stella, no. Blanche, is he a wolf? Stella, why, Blanche? Blanche laughs. I don't think he would be. Blanche, what does he do? She is unbuttoning her blouse. Stella, he's on the precision bench in a spare parts department at the plant Stanley travels for. Blanche, is that something much? Stella, no, Stanley's the only one of his crowd that's likely to get anywhere. Blanche, what makes you think Stanley will? Stella, look at him. Blanche, I have looked at him. Stella, then you should know. Blanche, I'm sorry, but I haven't noticed a stamp of genius even on Stanley's forehead. She takes off the blouse and stands in her pink steel brassiere and white skirt in the light through the portieres. The game has continued in undertones. Stella, it isn't on his forehead, and it isn't genius. Blanche, oh, well, what is it then? And where? I would like to know. Stella, it is a drive that he has. You are standing in the light, Blanche. Blanche, oh, am I? She moves out of the yellow streak of light. Stella has removed her dress and put on a light blue stained satin kimono. Stella, with girlish laughter, you ought to see their wives. Blanche, laughingly, I can imagine. Big, beefy things, I suppose. Stella, you know that one upstairs. More laughter. One time, laughing. The plaster, laughing. Cracked. Stanley, you hands, cut out that conversation in there. Stella, you can't hear us. Stanley, well, you can hear me, and I said to hush up. Stella, this is my house, and I will talk as much as I want to. Blanche, Stella, don't start a row. Stella, he's half drunk. I will be out in a minute. She goes into the bathroom. Blanche rises and crosses leisurely to a small white radio and turns it on. Stanley, all right. Mitch, you in? Mitch, what? Oh, no, I'm out. Blanche moves back into the strike of light. She raises her arms and stretches as she moves indolently back to the chair. Rumba music comes over the radio. Mitch rises at the table. Stanley, who turned that on in there? Blanche, I did. Do you mind? Stanley, turn it off. Steve, aw, let the girls have their music. Pablo, sure, that's good. Leave it on. Steve, sounds like Xavier Cugat. Stanley jumps up and crossing to the radio. Turn it off. He stops short at sight of Blanche in the chair. She returns his look without flinching. Then he sits again at the poker table. Two of the men have started arguing hotly. Steve, I didn't hear you name it. Pablo, didn't I name it, Mitch? Mitch, I wasn't listening. Pablo, what were you doing then? Stanley, he was looking through them drapes. He jumps up and jerks roughly at curtains to close them. Now, deal the hand over again and let's play cards or quit. Some people get anked when they win. Mitch rises as Stanley returns to his seat. Stanley, yelling, sit down. Mitch, I'm going to the head. Deal me out. Pablo, sure, he's got ants now. 7 $5 bills in his pants pocket folded up tight as spitballs. Steve, tomorrow you will see him at the cashier window getting them changed into quarters. Stanley, and when he goes home, he will deposit them one by one in a piggy bank his mother gave him for Christmas. Dearling, this game is spit in the ocean. Mitch laughs uncomfortably and continues through the portieres. He stopped just inside. Blanche, softly, hello, the little boy's room is busy right now. Mitch, we have been drinking beer. Blanche, I hate beer. Mitch, it is a hot weather drink. Blanche, oh, I don't think so. It always makes me warmer. Have you got any cigs? She has slipped on the dark red satin whopper. Mitch, sure. Blanche, what kind are they? Mitch, Lucky's. Blanche, oh good. What a pretty case. Silver? Mitch, yes. Read the inscription. Blanche, oh, is there an inscription? I can't make it out. He strikes a match and moves closer. Oh, reading with feigned difficulty. And if God choose, I shall be loved thee better after death. Why? That's from my favorite sonnet by Mrs. Browning. Mitch, you know it? Blanche, certainly I do. Mitch, there's a story connected with that inscription. Blanche, it sounds like a romance. Mitch, a pretty sad one. Blanche, oh? Mitch, the girl's dead now. Blanche, in a tone of deep sympathy. Oh. Blanche, she knew she was dying when she gave me this. A very strange girl, very sweet, very. Blanche, she must have been fond of you. Sick people have such deep, sincere attachment. Mitch, that's right, they certainly do. Blanche, sorrow makes for sincerity, I think. Mitch, it sure brings it out in people. Blanche, the little there is belongs to people who have experienced some sorrow. Mitch, I believe you are right about that. Blanche, I'm positive that I am. Show me a person who hasn't known any sorrow, and I will show you a superficial. Listen to me. My tongue is a little thick. You boys are responsible for it. The show let out at 11 and we couldn't come home on account of the poker game, so we had to go to somewhere and drink. I'm not accustomed to having more than one drink. 2 is the limit. And 3, she laughs. Tonight, I had 3. Stanley. Mitch. Deal me out. I'm talking to Miss Blanche Dubois. Mitch. Miss Dubois? Blanche. It's a French name. It means woods, and Blanche means white. So 2 together mean white woods, like an orchard in spring. You can remember it by that. Mitch. You're French? Blanche. We are French by extraction. Our first American ancestors were French Huguenots. Mitch. You are Stella's sister, are you not? Blanche. Yes. Stella is my precious little sister. I call her little in spite of the fact that she's somewhat older than I just slightly. Less than a year. Will you do something for me? Mitch. Sure, for what? Blanche. I bought this adorable little colored paper lantern at a Chinese shop on Bourbon. Put it over the light bulb, will you, please? Mitch. Be glad to. Blanche. I can't stand in a naked light bulb any more than I can a rude remark or a vulgar action. Mitch. Adjusting the lantern. I guess we strike you as being a pretty rough bunch. Blanche. I'm very adaptable to circumstances. Mitch. Well, that's a good thing to be. You are visiting Stanley and Stella? Blanche. Stella hasn't been so well lately. I came down to help her for a while. She is very run down. Mitch. You're not? Blanche. Married? No. I'm an old maid school teacher. Mitch. You may teach school, but you are certainly not an old maid. Blanche. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your gallantry. Mitch. So you are in the teaching profession? Blanche. Yes. Yes. Mitch. Grade school or high school or... Stanley. Bellowing. Mitch. Coming. Blanche. Gracious. What long power. I teach high school in Laurel. Mitch. What do you teach? What subject? Blanche. Guess. Mitch. I bet you teach art or music. Blanche laughs delicately. Of course, I could be wrong. You might teach arithmetic. Blanche. Never arithmetic, sir. Never arithmetic. With a laugh. I don't even know my multiplication tables. No, I have the misfortune of being an English instructor. I attempt to instill a bunch of Bobby Soxers and drugstore Romeos with reverence for Hawthorne and Whitman and Poe. Mitch. I guess that some of them are more interested in other things. Blanche. How very right you are. Their literary heritage is not what most of them treasure above all else, but they are sweet things. And in spring, it's touching to notice them making their first discovery of love, as if nobody had ever known it before. The bathroom door opens and Stella comes out. Blanche continues to talking to Mitch. Oh, have you finished? Wait, I will turn on the radio. She turns the knobs on the radio and it begins to play Rien, nous deux allons. It means Vienna, only you. Blanche voices, what this to the music with romantic gestures. Mitch is delighted and moves in awkward imitations like a dancing bear. Stanley stalks fiercely through the portieres into the bedroom. He crosses to the small white radio and snatches it off the table. With a shouted oath, he tosses the instrument out of the window. Stella, drunk, drunk, animal thing, you. She rushes through the poker table. All of you, please go home. If any of you have one spark of decency in you. Blanche, wildly. Stella, watch out, he's... Stanley charges after Stella. Man, feebly. Take it easy, Stanley. Easy, fellow. That's all. Stella, you lay your hands on me and I will... She backs out of sight. He advances and disappears. There's the sound of a blow. Stella cries out. Blanche screams and runs into the kitchen. The men rush forward and there's a grappling and cursing. Something is overturned with a crash. Blanche, surely. My sister is going to have a baby. Mitch, this is terrible. Blanche, lunacy, absolute lunacy. Blanche, get him in there, man. Stanley is forced, pinioned by the two men, into the bedroom. He nearly throws them off. Then all at once he subsides and is limp in their grasp. They speak quietly and lovingly to him, and he leans his face on one of their shoulders. Stella, in a high, unnatural voice, out of sight. I want to go away. Mitch, poker shouldn't be played in a house with women. Blanche rushes into the bedroom. Blanche, I want my sister's clothes. We will go to that woman's upstairs. Mitch, where is the clothes? Blanche, opening the closet. I have got them. She rushes through to Stella. Stella, precious. Dear little sister, don't be afraid. With her arms around Stella, Blanche guides her to the outside door and upstairs. Stanley, dully. What's the matter? What's happened? Mitch, you just blew your top, Stan. Pablo, he's okay now. Steve, sure, my boy's okay. Mitch, put him on the bed to get a wet towel. Pablo, I think coffee will do him a world of good now. Stanley, thickly, I want water. Mitch, put him under the shower. The men talk quietly as they lead him to the bathroom. Stanley, let go of me, you sons of bitches. Sounds of blows are heard. The water goes on full tilt. Steve, let's get quick out of here. They rushes to the poker table and sweep up their winnings on their way out. Mitch, sadly but firmly, poker should not be played in a house with women. The door closes on them and the place is still. The Negro entertainers in a bar around the corner play paper doll, slow and blue. After a moment, Stanley comes out of the bathroom, dripping water and still in his clean, wet polka dot drawers. Stanley, Stella! There's a pause. My baby dolls left me. He breaks into sobs. Then he goes to the phone and dials, still shuddering with sobs. Eunice, I want my baby. He waits a moment. Then he hangs up and dials again. Eunice, I'll keep on ringing until I talk with my baby. And an indistinguishable shrill voice is heard. He hurls phone to the floor. Dissonant brass and piano sounds as the room dim out to darkness. The outer walls appear in night light. The blue piano plays a brief interval. Finally, Stanley stumbles half-dressed out to the porch and down the wooden steps to the pavements before the building. There he throws back his head like a baying hound and bellows his wife's name. Stella! Stella! Sweetheart Stella! Stanley. Stella! Eunice, calling down from the door of her upper apartment. Quit that howling out there and go back to bed. Stanley. I want my baby down here. Stella, Stella. Eunice. She ain't coming down, so you quit or you will get the law on you. Stanley. Stella. Eunice. You can't beat a woman and then call her back. She won't come, and her going to have a baby. You stinker. You whelp of a Polak. You. I hope they do a hole you in and turn the fire hose on you, same as the last time. Stanley, humbly. Eunice, I want my girl to come down with me. Eunice, ha! She slams her door. Stanley, with heaven splitting violence. Stella! The low tone clarinet moans. The door upstairs opens again. Stella slips down the rickety stairs in her robe. Her eyes are glistening with tears, and her hair loosed about her throat and shoulders. They stare at each other. Then they come together with low animal moans. He falls on his knees on the steps and presses his face to her belly, curving a little with maternity. Her eyes go blind with tenderness as she catches his head and raises him level with her. He snatches the screen door open and lifts her off her feet and bears her into the dark flat. Blanche comes out on the upper landing in her robe and slips fearfully down the steps. Blanche. Where's my little sister? Stella? Stella? She stops before the dark entrance of her sister's flat, then catches her breath as if struck. She rushes down to the walk before the house. She looks right and left as if for sanctuary. The music fades away. Mitch appears from around the corner. Mitch. Miss Dubois? Blanche. Oh! Mitch. All quiet on the Potomac now? Blanche. She ran downstairs and went back in there with him. Mitch. Sure she did. Blanche. I'm afraid. I'm terrified. Mitch. Ho, ho. There's nothing to be scared of. They are crazy about each other. Blanche. I'm not used to such. Mitch. Nah. It's a shame this had happened when you just got here, but don't take it serious. Blanche. Violence. It's so. Mitch. Sit down on the steps and have a cigarette with me. Blanche. I'm not properly dressed. Mitch. That don't make no difference in the quarter. Blanche. Such a pretty silver case. Mitch. I showed you the inscription, didn't I? Blanche. Yes. During the pause, she looks up at the sky. There's so much confusion in the world. He coughs differently. Thank you for being so kind. I need kindness now.